Hello and welcome to this Saturday morning where I am community meeting of the Dreaming with Entrepreneurs in Google Plus community. And we're going to talk a lot about the things that are happening in the community, but I've invited one of our illustrious community members to come in and share a very, very exciting thing that she's launching literally this afternoon, and she'll tell you a little bit about it, but she totally understands how powerful a marketing tool all of the Google Plus technology is, and specifically Hangouts on Air. And I'm happy to welcome. I'm sorry, Delilah.
I was like, did you forget my name or what, dude? It's on
No.
screen.
Somebody came into the stream, and I'm going to invite him into the panel. But welcome to Delilah. I didn't forget Delilah. How can you forget Delilah Taylor's name? You might forget her name depending upon how good you are in names, but you're not going to forget her bubbly personality. So welcome, Delilah, and share, if you would, what wonderfully exciting thing, and talk not only about the event itself, but what were the ideas, your concepts in leading up to your HOA this afternoon?
Okay. It actually launched last Saturday. So
well, I was at a wedding. I'm sorry I missed the launch. How'd the launch go?
The launch went great. It really did. The launch went fabulous. So this will be episode number 2 coming up this afternoon, and it is Shop Small Biz Saturday. It is a shopping show. Now, we all know that Google has a shopping show. Thing is, a lot of people want on there, but they're only allowing the big brands on there. So I was like, well, that's kind of crappy. Why can't everybody have a shopping show? And then at the same time, we hear all this stuff about, well, how am I going to monetize my HOA? So I thought, well, there's people that want to sell their stuff. There's people that want to buy stuff, and there's people that want to monetize an HOA. So I just combined the three. There are a lot of direct sellers, party sellers, in-home sellers, people with gizmos, gadgets, products, all sorts of stuff. So what I did was I started a Shop Small Biz Saturday HOA. And unlike some of the other shows where you can actually buy stuff, they put the stuff on, and then the producer takes a portion of whatever the sales are or whatever. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So
are you sure you don't want to do that?
Well, it's because then I'm relying my monetization on somebody else's selling skills or somebody else's ability to make something that's worth having or whatnot. So instead, what I did was I charged an advertising fee, and it's a very minimal fee. The guests get to come on and sell their products they get 15 minutes for $20, or they get 30 minutes for $35, and I even cut them a copy of the video to use for promo stuff later. And I've brought an audience, and they all bring their audiences, and the audiences know they're there to buy. They're on a shopping show, so it just works out really, really well for everybody. And in the meantime, not only is it Google Plus people, but I'm managing to pull in people from Facebook also. So there's always different people and different things to see throughout the Saturday afternoon show.
Well, you and I are going to have a private discussion about something you just said.
Okay.
I want you to make more money than what you're projecting. I want you to make lots of money.
Yes. Well, and with it being the first time, I was like, well, let's go with this first, and then we'll start working our way through it. The thing was, so many people spend so much time doing all this planning and doing all this, and I was like, I'll just work the bugs out as I go. So I just did it.
Well,
Start it off and then build it up.
well, you've got a great concept going, Delilah, and I commend you for that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in uh, to kick off the shopping season. American Express every Saturday after Thanksgiving have an event that they call, I think they call it Small Biz Saturday. They might call it Small Business Saturday or Small Biz. The
It's
concept
Cyber
being,
Saturday.
no,
Oh
no.
no.
It's Small Biz
Oh, okay.
Saturday. It is Cyber Saturday, but they've narrowed it, and the concept being they want people to use American Express cards in their local communities. That's
Oh.
the whole concept. So I'm talking about the Small Biz Saturday thing. I want to see a face-off between you and American Express, and I'm on your side.
Well, mine is Shop Small Biz Saturday. So.
But anyways, you need to go because you've got some prepping to do. But thank you for taking some time, and we wish you the best of luck in that endeavor. And I
Yeah,
will
one
talk with
o'clock
you
today,
soon.
people. 1 o'clock
Pardon
Eastern
me?
Standard Time. I said one
Okay,
o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Y'all come shopping.
you all come shopping. Okay, well you have a wonderful day, Delilah, and we will talk with you soon.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
And I see a couple other entrepreneurs who have entered the room. And Wayne, you won't mind if I do a kind of a ladies first type thing, will you?
Not at all.
Okay, because it just so happens Chara Kelly and I have is our Google Plus relationship 2 years old yet, Chara? It's probably at least 2 years.
Yeah, our anniversaries are here.
Our
Also.
anniversary.
Yeah,
Well,
for the
I
glass
wanted to
as well. So it's all around the same timing.
I wanted to share a couple personal things about you, and then we'll let you share with what's going on and all the neat things you have going on in your life, both as an entrepreneur and the successful business that has grown since I've met you, and then you can also share the really neat things you've got going with Google Glass now, but. Char and I first started doing HOAs well, I've been doing them for, I guess, approaching 2 years now. And in those 2 years, in that 2 years time, I think you and I have probably done at least, 6, 7, 8 HOAs.
There's an issue right now with something I'm working on with the glass, and one of the explorers that I'm with on Twitter told me, you know what? I remember watching a YouTube where you mentioned this over a year ago with Small Business Dave. And she went and pulled out the YouTube, and she was like, watch in 10 minutes to it, and that's when it comes. And I was like, wow, it was cool. You know?
Well, we've done hangouts while you were in an airport waiting to go to get your Google Glass.
Yeah.
We've done a hangout when you were on your own construction site and we could hear construction equipment in the background.
Yeah, that didn't make good for audio, did it?
But I think kind of the most fun that you and I have had on an HOA was when you were in Cairo, Egypt, while a revolution was going on in the streets, and you and I were doing a hangout.
Yeah, I remember my taxi had taken us to the Marriott, and they burned it while we were inside with the luggage. And then I had flown to talk with you away from that.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
Welcome. You and I haven't actually gone one-to-one, and it's been several months now. So let's catch up. Tell us what's going on with your business. Tell us what neat things you're doing with Google Glass.
You wouldn't believe it. I actually moved out to California for over 30 days, and that was about all I could take of that. I had a studio apartment there next to Twitter, so it was neat to look out the window and see Twitter. I had Twitter on one side and Foursquare on the other, the credit card swipe thing. So, it was surreal, but I got out there into the startups, and I currently launched an app myself for the Google Glass to teach the world sign language. So while I was out there, I created and developed that app, and it's up and running now. It's up for approval by Google, but I have currently 80 explorers that have it in their glass. They're beta testing it for me. So it's a sign language app. So yeah, all we have is time. Let's learn to sign. That's what I say. And you can check that out at www.sign4glass.com. So it's pretty neat. And also what I've noticed is not everyone has the Google Glass. So what I've kind of done is invented, and I'm announcing it here to you.
An announcement! We should give you a drum roll.
Yes, give me a drum roll.
If I can figure out, sometimes my stuff doesn't work here. I'll go ahead and do it, and we'll give you the drum roll.
Yeah. But what it is if you don't have Google Glass,
There's our drum roll. Wayne Nix was able to pick up our drum roll. Thank you, Wayne.
Yay. But what I like to call it is the YouTube app. So if any platform, you can pull up the YouTube and you can go and search for Sign4 FOR Glass and do the app from YouTube.
Wow.
How you like that, huh?
Is
that pretty neat?
You are a very, very creative, thinking person, and in a sense, it doesn't surprise me. There's no question that you've got Google's attention on stuff that you're doing, and I think if anybody I'd like to have their attention, certainly it would be Google, because it's all about search, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know really, if they pay me much attention or not. They have so much going on, but some of the explorers that's pretty close in contact with them said, boy, they're watching you because you're all over the world with the glass.
And we will vouch for that for sure.
Yeah.
So, Charles, share, if you will, and it's a wonderful story, how you got started as an entrepreneur and what has happened to your personal, because you do have a personal business in Alabama. So if you would share what that's all about and how you got there, it's a wonderful story.
I really started with just knowing that there was a need for people to have a car. There wasn't very many choices here, and I experienced that personally with a friend. And so it started with one car and $1.99 two-piece chicken for a few years, and now we're up to 175 cars at our best. But we just had our peak season, so our inventory is very low. But we came up with the idea last week, I think it was, to do a $9.99 sale. So people are going crazy. They're like, in the morning when we would come here, they're waiting by the car that they want, and they're calling all day. How long is the sale? Please tell me the sale's be going for a while. So it's really cool, yeah. Well,
not only have you found a need, but you're doing something wonderful for, what's the name of the city again that you're in?
We're in Gadsden, Alabama, so it's
Gadsden.
North Alabama, yeah.
But you're doing wonderful things there. So, and your car dealership is how old now?
Well, we opened up in '03, in January of '03, so we just celebrated 11 years.
And the growth of your business has allowed you to do all the other neat things that you're doing. So how cool is that?
Yeah, this sign language app, I'm currently taking some classes in D.C. to do the whole thing by myself. I mean, I'm here waiting for someone just to come and look at a car, so there's a lot of downtime. So I think I will try to just, work and function the app myself completely through and through, and that's going to be a challenge. And the app that I had to build my own data, my own library of content. So I'm good for about a year, but I need to go ahead and have next year's ready as well, you know. So it's challenging. It's a new business. It would be considered a startup, but I'm doing it all myself. I'm not seeking for investors, or I was out there in the middle of all of that in California, and I tell you, it's a different world from the country, and the way that all works is just, you know, really blows my
Well,
mind. So.
you'll build it. You'll build the business with your own money, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And then your friends at Twitter will come by and they'll want to buy it for 50, 60, 75 million dollars.
Hey, wouldn't that be awesome? Because, you know, everything's free. Everything has to be offered for free. So that's what you wait for, is the end, if there is a good payoff. But in the meantime, I mean, you know, it's a lot of fun. You're learning a new language. It's an official language. You can put it on your resume. It's sign language. It's really cool to learn, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying it. I really am enjoying it. Just interacting with the users, asking them each day which one you're using today, which sign you're getting. Because the way I set it up, I really wanted people to learn. So when you log on the first time, you start from the beginning, which the first sign is Google Glass. When I was studying about sign language, if enough people use the sign, it's part of the official language. So we invented Google Glass,
What's
which
a sign?
this is glasses, and then this is Google Glass. So this is Google Glass.
There you go. Start first here.
Yay!
Okay.
So that's exciting.
I see a T-shirt behind you, and we had spoken, wow, probably about 5 or 6 months ago, and you were doing something with T-shirts. Is that part of that project?
You know, this T-shirt is an expensive hobby. That's what I would call it. But I'm well known on G Plus for the Keep Calm. So I did the charshirts.com. So you can go on charshirts.com and get a tech T-shirt, as I like to call it. Chic and geek and tech is cool, and I've made some really cool tech T-shirts there. And this is one of them. I had some people to order, which says keep calm and hashtag glass family on. That's a hashtag that I started and created on Twitter and G+. And it's really taken effect. I mean, I think Sergey Brin's using it, the owner of Google.
You go, girl. You have his attention. You go.
Really, right? So it's done really cool. You know, I don't really make anything off of these T-shirts, but they're a lot of fun, and it's more interaction with people, and so I enjoy it. You know, I make them myself too. So you know, this ain't easy.
I want a T-shirt, but I want the creator of that T-shirt to sign it and date it.
Okay, and what would you like? Keep calm and what?
You choose.
You want me to decide? I was about to say, let me create you a hashtag. Let me do that for you.
You go, girl.
What's your favorite color?
Oh boy. You know what? I've been really getting into the Google colors. Those are the ones that are really jumping out at me, and most everything I do is around the Google colors. At one time, I could tell you it was blue, but I like blue. That's not necessary, but I'll let you surprise me with whatever. And
I sure will.
I will probably wear it.
I hope so. I'm excited. I hope you like them.
Well, thank you very much. And I think there's a guy from Louisiana that's getting real anxious. And Wayne Nix, you and I haven't actually spoken one-to-one for a while, but welcome, and tell me, share with us what's going on in your life, and how's your new HOA taking off, and what's happening?
Well, first of all, hi, Shara, and say hello to Nick Saban for me.
Oh, yes, yes. Roll Tide.
Right. But no, David, how you doing? Thanks for having me on the show. We're going to have our third show on Monday, which is looking for good cooking. It'll be 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to do a show called Ruology, the Foundation of Cajun Cooking. Everybody was asking me questions about the roux, so we're just going to take that and kind of roll with it. And it'll be the same team that we had on the first show. It'll be me, Dawn, and Lance Fields. So, you know, other than that, we are reaching out to several other people to see what we can do in the future, and just trying to learn the tech. You know, pretty much like Delilah said, you know, she jumped into it and just started rolling. That's kind of what we did, and we're having a lot of fun with it and seeing where we can take it.
Well, you've done a lot of really neat things, particularly from your very first show. You worked in the overhead shot to how you were cooking. And I don't know if your wife was involved in the very first HOA that you did, but now she gives commentary of what's happening in the Nick's kitchen while all of this is going on.
She was involved in the first show, and you know, like I said, we're learning the production techniques along the way. We know how important that lighting is, and what we're trying to do is take what we're accustomed to watching on a television show and tying it into the live aspect. And you know, there's a lot more timing involved than we thought, and production is something, again, we've not been formally trained in, except besides watching TV our entire lives, right? So it's just, how do we keep providing value for our customers that are out there, you know, watching us? And I love the fact that they can instantly communicate with us. So if anybody has any ideas on what they would like us to see us cook on a show, we always welcome that. And you know, like I said, we're just kind of going with it.
So you'll do stuff more than crawfish.
Oh, definite. You know, now we're Southern by trade, right? I mean, just born and raised in Louisiana. Of course, we're going to put our little flair on everything, and that's part of our show. Is recipes are only guidelines, so we take it, and you know, even if I have a recipe in front of me, I'm probably not going to follow it exactly to the T. That's just my nature. So.
You know, Wayne, I've been doing something of recent, I guess just because of when I wake up, the crazy hour that I wake up every morning early. I've been watching, well, not watching, but in the background while I'm sitting at where I am right now, there's a show called Create.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever watched that show?
Actually, I have, and there's a lady on there. I can't remember her name right now, but she.
Well, there's a bunch of folks on it.
True. They have one lady from Mexico that she does a show, and then they have the other one. I think she's from Italy, and she's a little older. But I love how she does everything and pretty much says, you know, let me clean everything, and then we'll be right back. Mm-hmm. And that's really what cooking's all about. You know, it's just that constant kind of a flow. So again, you know, the only thing I think she's lacking is the fact that nobody can instantly talk to her, and I just think that would be an awesome thing.
And that's where I was going with it, too. That's the beauty of the show, like you do, and of course we know how well the chef does with his show, and Larry Fournillier, how well he does with his stuff.
I've been talking with Larry, and they have a lot of things coming down the pipeline. Hopefully, I can be a part of that. I'm also meeting with my local community network channel here, and I'm going to see what the limitations are with that. Everybody has one in their city. I'm sure you know it's paid by city taxes and things like that. So we're just going to see what are maybe some possibilities we can do with that as well.
It's funny you bring that up because I first started producing shows about small business about 6 years ago on a public access television station here in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And I produced 65 shows about small business. Same kind of stuff I'm doing now, but I was doing it in a television studio. And it became extremely difficult to produce those shows in a studio, because of the environment. I was in a nonprofit organizational environment, and so I had to use the folks in that organization. Not that that was bad, but they didn't take what I was doing as seriously as I was taking what I was doing, and so I left producing in a studio and found a website that I could live stream on. Mm-hmm. And I did 1,000 hours of live streaming on that, just doing the same content, small business stuff, information and entrepreneurship, and then that website shut down, and that's when I came to start doing YouTubes, and then when Hangouts started, I started doing Hangouts. It was a natural evolution of how I was going to produce my content. So if you need any help on dealing with that public access show, let me know. Not only that, but are you familiar? Do you know Scott Scowcroft, my friend?
Actually, yes, I met him. Well, I've met him several weeks ago, but we actually formally talked about 1 or 2 weeks ago. And also, Susan Finch is probably going to be doing things with the public network system where she's from, trying to help promote, basically the arts and entertainment, which for years is being cut by every state. And I think that's awesome. So, that's another beauty of being on Google, is that you get to meet people with similar like minds and are doing similar things. Now, Shah, I'm curious to know, how I might be able to tie in Google Glass. I already have some ideas. I'm just limited by the price of the Google Glass right now.
I actually just read a couple of days ago it's going to be cheaper. So
Okay.
when it comes out again, they keep releasing it to the public, and when their inventory's gone, it's over. So it's like it's released to the public, only they know how many. We can just make up a number, 10,000. And once those 10,000 are gone, no more Google Glass available till the next round. That's what I'm calling them. So
Or maybe you have some pull and you can maybe get us some glasses.
hey, I tell you, I don't know if y'all noticed, David, but when I was out there in California, I had fell in love with the frames. So Ray-Ban teamed up with Google and made the frames. This is my old glass. This is Team Tangerine that I've had from the beginning. So I've kind of also acquired a Team Sky with the frames on there. And these are split frames. So there's actually 5 tops. So don't kill me, but I have 2 pair. But I figured 1 pair a year is good. 1 pair a year is good now. So the next one's going to be Team Cotton. I
got to tell you, you make me laugh, Chara. Yesterday, I was watching an HOA that Guy Kawasaki was on. It was Mia Vassas was doing an HOA, and Guy and Peg Fitzpatrick were her guests. And Guy Kawasaki has a wonderful, wonderful sense of humor. I mean, he doesn't stop. He was just cracking everybody up during this HOA. Well, I don't know what got him onto it, but he picks up a stack of phones, and Guy Kawasaki had a formal relationship with Motorola, and so he's had access to any cell phone that he's ever wanted. So he holds this stack of phones up, and he starts passing them out on an HOA to the folks that were there. They said, "Wah," and it was the funniest thing I ever saw. So you're probably, Chara, the first one to have a collection of glass, and you now have made it public. So that's got to be a lot of fun.
It's really cool. This little container is now what they're carrying for the prescription ones, and it's a hard shell, and it just holds as many. I think it will hold like 5 or more. I mean, for some reason, I got an extra little frame piece there as well, and the one that's on this one is 4 cotton. It's white, and this one's sky blue, and then this one's Team Tangerine. So I just got a nice little box, and then I have my own screwdriver, so I can take these frames and put them on Team Tangerine. So you can just switch it all up and have fun with it. But the reason I got the second pair is I wanted the frames, and I asked Google, I was like, these glasses are controlled by your Gmail account. So Google's in full control, and they store everything on their server for free, and everything gets auto-backed up into your G Plus account where you can control it, share it, do as you like with what you've got going on through the glass. I have over 40,000 photos through my glass. So, and it's all stored for free, and it's all, arranged by day and date. And a lot of people's like, hey, that's a privacy issue. But, I mean, I guarantee Google is looking at what we're looking at, for advertisement reasons, for big data reasons. A lot of people call that Big Brother. And then a lot of people's like, you know what, Google don't have time for that. But, I mean, maybe they have a good filter and a good system set up. It's an interesting conversation. Wearing the glass, you might feel a little funny, you know, taking photos of eating McDonald's with your friends and then thinking someone else is using that, you know, information or something. I don't know. To me, I'm just having fun with what I like to do with the glass, so I'm not really sure, you know, about all that
bring
other
up an
stuff.
interesting point. You bring up an interesting point about Google and data. Just this week, there was a headline story. They've been fighting with the EU, the European Union, for years on privacy issues, and it looks like they're actually coming to a settlement with them on whatever. You know, and you know, Google's prime objective, I don't care what anybody says, the prime objective is to create the best search result that they possibly can when you go looking for information. And the only way they can get the best search result is by collecting as much data as they possibly can. That's going to give them the best result. Yes, there's got to be millions of pieces of information on their servers, but so what?
That's what I say too. I mean, they're not putting us out there on billboards on the interstate, you know. So it's all, and then you know what? I go to D.C. a lot. You know, I told you I'm taking a lot of seminars and classes and things out there. And funny enough, the conversation usually something like, "Hey, you know, Google's at the White House." You know, I'm like, yeah, well, this seems like this is a habit every time I come out here, you know. But I love D.C. I love to hear people talking out there. You know, it's always good interest and stuff. But anyway.
Well, you know Sergi, so that's all that matters. You have an issue with Google, you just give him a call, and no, he probably doesn't even know what a telephone is. It's probably all.
I know he uses the S4, which is.
Oops. There goes the Google. There goes the Google Glass, Wayne. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the community and what I'm working on, and talking about monetization of HOAs. I think you used those words, didn't you?
Yes.
You used them, Chara used them, and Delilah used them. So we're all, you know, trying to figure out how to do it, and that's what we do. We're entrepreneurs. We're trying to figure out how to do it. I had a strategy, a marketing strategy, and I studied. I picked out a company. I wasn't going to come up with, you know, a big strategy and then try to sell the strategy. I had a targeted company that I wanted to get as a customer, as a client, and so I studied to find out what their pain points were in terms of marketing, and specifically Google+. So I created a strategy based upon that, and presented it to them. Got some interesting feedback. Not that I kind of didn't want to get the feedback that I thought I might get, and I got it, and so I have to change my thinking a little bit. The strategy was, the concept was, I was kind of being moved toward an ad agency, their ad agency, and that's a direction I did not want to go in. Absolutely did not want to go that way, because A, I would lose control of what it is that I wanted to do. B, you know, if their ad agency was any good, they would be proposing what I was proposing anyways, right?
Right.
And so the ad agency would not take well to you know, somebody else coming in. There was no way that I would do it unless somebody was paying me a big retainer to do what it was that I had put together. And if that's the way to go with it, I might not monetize the HOA, but I'm certainly monetizing my life. So I
Hey,
said,
I'm
I,
back, by the way. I think Big
I,
Brother heard us.
yeah, I see you were talking about Google, and they wanted to black you out for a moment to show you how powerful they really are.
I had to get my iPad out. My other one wouldn't work, so.
Thank goodness you're loaded with technology, Chara. Thank goodness.
Yeah, my friends tell me, "Are you on Wi-Fi?" I'm like, "No, everything's 4G." So it works when I need it, you know?
Well, Wi-Fi wouldn't work for you.
Well, you know, nothing connects very well with it. So, with me anyway, I guess it's where the strength is. Maybe I'm too far away from the pole.
Well, how
I just hate
explain a little bit then.
it.
This is something I guess I didn't really understand. So Google Glass is a 4G.
It works for tethering, which is what I use on my 4G. So that's like creating a hotspot around you. And then it also works from Wi-Fi, and it prefers to work from Wi-Fi. So
Interesting.
that's annoying, yeah, because on your cell phone you can cut off, you know, your Wi-Fi, and you're forced to use your 4G. But with the Glass, they made it where it wants to use the Wi-Fi first, maybe to conserve or save money or whatever. And they've also been playing with the auto backup. As I told you earlier, they're storing everything, and I guess the reason they changed it is because people said when the auto backup was backing up Glass, it was using their data. So now it backs up only in Wi-Fi and probably with a 50% battery, because Glass always needs more than a 50% battery to do an upgrade, and it needs to be Wi-Fi. So see, with me being used to 4G and using 4G, I have to go look for a Wi-Fi to do my upgrades, and I have to make sure I have a 50% battery. So I mean, when you're working, you know, busy, that's kind of annoying, but hopefully things will change.
Is there Wi-Fi and gas in Alabama?
No, I mean, maybe if you're standing right next to the cashier at McDonald's, or if you drive 75 miles to Starbucks, and I think maybe pay a credit card fee, I'm not sure. I mean, come on, it's just ridiculous. Because we're trying to make these things part of our face. So if they're part of our face, then they kind of need to work, you know? So, and I mean, and right now, there's a situation with Glass is they just changed everything to the Android KitKat. So I guess that's paving the way for the Glass to upgrade when your cell phone has an upgrade. So, but Glass is not happy, but they're trying to fix it. Like every week they send a new upgrade. So
And you can't do an HOA with Glass, can you?
you know, I used to be able to, and when they changed to the KitKat version, they took it away. And they also took away the song search. But the thing is, what you're asking, you have to realize how many physicians and healthcare people are so angry. I had to send out so many letters to them saying, oh, just please calm down, because I know how passionate they are. And you have to realize we're not really being paid, you know, to do this, to beta test these. So for doctors and firemen and people like this to contribute their time, I think is amazing, and they just need to be, you know, heroic and thanked every day. So it really upset me to see so many of the explorers who were physicians, like they were so upset. But you know, I think in what I told them, Google is doing something else. Like maybe Philips has a more clearer version, since it is primary maybe physicians and stuff who are using the Hangout app, you know, to live stream and to show surgeries in real time and to show pregnant moms their C-sections. And I mean, there's a lot of things that it's doing, you know. So I think it will be back. Maybe, you know, like I said, Google's paving the way to let Philips do something, or maybe Google's making it better. But I feel they took it away to make it better. But I liked it. It was fine for me.
Wayne wants to do a cooking show with some Glass. I see the wheels turning, Wayne.
Yeah,
Hey.
well, that was the idea for the original show. Actually, it was called Cooking with Glass instead of Cooking with Gas.
That's a funny one. Did you ever do it?
No, I haven't. I don't have the glass.
So
So
maybe I can come down and we can pair both of these glasses and we can do this because there's a lot of apps for cooking and people love to see cooking through glass. And you know, a lot of the explorers have calmed down and so we haven't seen much of it around. That would be awesome.
right, I have a lot of ideas for it, and that would kind of make me a trademark type of thing, or at least that would be my, oh, that's Wayne with Google Glass. But
Hey, it would probably be a good investment. But I did hear in the next few weeks it's supposed to come out again and be cheaper. But I'll get your information or circle you up, and when I hear of anything, you'll be the first one. If I get some kind of discount code or anything like that, but I wouldn't
Wow,
count on that.
you're talking about heroes. You'll be happy to know that Wayne and his wife are both nurses by training. That's what they do for a living.
Oh wow, amazing! Yeah, so I would love to come down. I'm not that far from you, maybe about 6 hours, so
right.
not that far.
And I'd love to talk to you more about the healthcare scene because I find there's two trains of thought. Either they love it or they don't want it anywhere in the hospital. And they don't want it anywhere in the hospital. That's where we are. And I find that ironic because, like you said, they have other docs that love this stuff, and the hospitals are basically pushing it. So that could be another show, perhaps.
Yeah, it's crazy. In Amsterdam, I did a surgery myself with these glasses. We delivered a baby named Nicole.
What do you mean you did a surgery yourself? Is that another thing to put, another asterisk to put by your name?
Hey, I got it on my YouTube to prove it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's my most viewed thing. If you want to watch about 4.5 pound tumor we removed from a lady. The baby Nicole, after she came out, the mama said, I don't want you to put her on YouTube. I said, okay. But that was in Amsterdam. And then here in America, my aunt, she just won't speak to me. She works in the ER, and she just won't speak to me. I don't know why. She's like, that glass, you and that glass, stay away from me. That's a privacy issue. Stay away from the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you can get fired for that. We actually have a policy that states that exactly, that Google Glass is not allowed in or around the campus.
Are you familiar with TEDx?
No.
They do a lot of speeches and things like that in the healthcare field, and there's a lot of explorers who have glass that work for them. I think I could put you in touch with them and put you in the communities of the healthcare with glass, and then you will be able to see, because they're huge doctors, and they're doing amazing things, but they could speak to you, one-on-one and know more about how they're, being able to, and then again, maybe just simply their hospitals like, look, this doctor's the bomb. He knows what's the future and what to do in healthcare, and so you just never know the situation. But
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think you'll be an asset. This is the future. This thing, Google Glass is not a toy. It's really a commercial industry, life-saving, because your hands are free. And in the medical field, to save these bodies, you need to do it with your hands, usually, and a good brain. But yeah, it'll be awesome. So yeah, I'll send you some of that stuff.
I might have another individual in my network who could be helpful to the two of you in healthcare. My local area network administrator is actually, he's a friend, but his job is he's an IT guy doing a lot of new kinds of work inside of a hospital, a whole healthcare system here in Cincinnati. So if you need an IT perspective, I can bring my friend into your discussions also.
Well, that's one of the things I was talking with Scott Scowcroft about, and also Catherine Brown, just kind of maybe looking at some possibilities. So, there are people out there that are doing it, but again, this is still kind of like we're on the cutting edge of things. So, it's just to get things to push forward. And again, I need to make money to be able to afford time to do this. So the wife's like, is this a hobby or is this actually something that you're going to be able to do as a career? So, it's kind of where...
And they're in Wayne Nix lies the whole concept of entrepreneurship and decisions that entrepreneurs have to make. It's a great way to end our story today, Wayne. That's the challenge. You have a passion for. I mean, not that you're very, very passionate about being a nurse. There's no question about that.
Right.
I saw that from the very first time that I met you. But you also have a very, very strong entrepreneurial spirit, and that you want to expand upon that, and you want to go beyond the lifestyle, if you will, or the kind of life that you live as a nurse.
Right.
You want to go beyond that.
Well, it's basically like, I want to help people, but I need to get. It's like a preacher, they can't do it for free. You have to give them money to preach. So, and that's basically where I am. I'm an HOA evangelist, but I need money to preach. So how do we do that and still have fun and make it to where I'm not trying to be rich. I'm just trying to support a lifestyle that allows me to be able to educate people. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And
well,
I mean,
I've been living that back.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna.
No, go ahead, Tara.
I was just gonna say the glass is awesome for his cooking and for being a nurse. So it maybe somehow all come together, but my offer's still there if you want to put together a glass cooking show and come out. And I actually could get more explorers to come as well if you want. Just tell me how many.
All right.
So
well,
yeah.
something great has really happened today. The comment I was going to make, Wayne, is to your point of you just want something better for yourself. That's where you are. It's the challenge that I've been doing for over 40 years, and my approach to having a small business is dramatically different than most, and it's the formula and the business model has worked for me, but there aren't too many people that it could work for. Not that it's, it works for me and just the way that I live and how I wanted to do things in my life. And it wasn't about money. It wasn't about money. It was about coming and going as I pleased and having control over that part of my life and not necessarily having somebody else make those decisions for me. So you figure it out. If that's what you're supposed to do with your life, you figure it out. Is that right, Chara?
That's right, and just do it. I mean, look at me, I was from used car salesman to applications, and people tell me, how do you build an app? I'm like, when you're from the South, you want something, you just build it from the bottom up. So that's exactly what I did. And people's like, this is insane what you've done. But it can be. Just do it. Just do it.
Wow. It starts, and we're going to sum up the discussion today. It's a beautiful, we've come around full circle now, but it starts with the spirit. And there's no question that the three of us have that entrepreneurial spirit because we're doing things, we're making things happen, we're not just talking about them, we're making them happen, number one. Number two, there's that dream. Each of us has had at least one dream. I've had multiple ones. Char, I know you've had multiple ones. Wayne, I know you're building, because I've watched, you and I haven't known each other all that long, but I've seen a lot of stuff happen in your life since you and I have met, and so we've got to have that dream, and then we have to create a plan. To Chara's point, you have to have a plan. It's just not I want to do it, it's how am I going to do it. So you set your goal out there and you work backwards from that goal. Was it you? Yeah, it was you, Wayne. Just a couple weeks ago, you and I had a discussion, and you threw out there a dollar amount that you wanted to realize in your life, and it was absolutely a doable amount. It wasn't crazy. It was a doable amount. So my advice was put that up there as your target, work back from that, divide it by 12 to see what you have to do on a monthly basis to make that number work for you. Divide that by 4 to see what you have to do on a weekly basis to make that, and then you work it. You work the plan, and if something isn't working in that plan, either change it or get rid of it and create a new way of doing things. But That's how it all happens. Wow! Thank you guys.
Yeah, sleep
what a-
when we die.
what a great discussion we've had today, and actually, as what has to happen with entrepreneurs when they get together, next steps have to be defined, and I think there were, or at least I heard, about 3 or 4 or 5 next steps defined today. So.
Oh, I have to tell you really quick, David. As part of my sign language, this is my logo, the heart hands.
Yes.
So I'm actually in the process right now of copywriting and branding the heart hand. So I'll be the official owner of.
I think we ought to end. I think we ought to end today with everybody doing the heart hinge. Wayne, let's see the heart hinge.
Oh, Wayne, yours is nice. Oh, David, yours is nice too. I like this.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for taking time. Thank you to Chara. Thank you to Wayne. Thank you to Delilah. That's what this is all about. We come into our community. We share ideas. We figure out how we can help one another achieve our business goals and objectives, because that's what small business is all about. It's with that spirit of collaboration. You help me, I help you, and together we help other folks, and that's the growth in the future. So thank you, folks, for taking time to come and listen today, and we'll see you the next time, which may very well be the best time.